Hey y'all, good to see you as always here on the channel. We are back at it today, folks. Sorry I had to do a two-part video on our little pathway here, but well, the rain just hasn't stopped lately. And they're calling for more like in a few hours. So we're gonna just get straight to work today. And I'm telling you what, we are hardcore today. We're going after it. We got our knee pads on. I just brought around a bucket full of our granite screenings. We've got all of our rock picked up, and so what we're going to come in here and do is just put us a nice little thin layer of the granite screenings. And somewhere over here, just got our new rubber mallet that I got off Amazon. We're going to take our big rocks there, lay them down in the granite screenings, tap them into place, and see if we can't move along with this project. And I really am excited about putting the moss down here, so I want to try to get that to that point today if we can, if the rain will allow us. So I'm going to shut up now. We're going to get to work. And what we're doing here, guys, is pretty simple. I've just been bringing my screenings around in this old 5-gallon bucket, kind of dumping them out right here as the pathway is continuing this way. I didn't come in and put a leveling line, so I'm just kind of using this board right here as my guide, as well as this one over here. You know, probably should have put a level down, but I think we can just kind of use this board of this bed right here to make sure that we get them level. And if we just kind of keep running our hand across them as we move along, we should stay relatively level. And it's kind of trial and error, guys. I just keep walking back to the pile and trying different rocks just to see which one fits better. What I'm trying to do is leave about 1 inch or so in between the rocks. That way we can come back and fill some of it with pea gravel and then put some potting soil in other areas and plant our moss. And I think that moss will grow in between the rocks. That is just going to look absolutely amazing. So I'm going to try to get some of these rocks placed real quick, and hopefully we can get to that point today. I kind of like how this one's fitting right here. So move this guy out of the way. And what I do is just come in and add a little bit of the screenings and then kind of level it out with my hand. Some of the rocks too are thicker than others, so you have to take that into account. And you can flip this rock over, just see how, you know, bumpy this is on this side. Maybe it might be, yeah, it's much flatter on this side. So we're just going to put it in something like that, and that's pretty level. So in order to get it to sit down real good and solid so it doesn't move around when you walk on it, I'll put just a little extra screenings and then just kind of wiggle it down, try to get it seated. And then I'll take my hammer, my rubber mallet, and I'll just start thumping it and tapping it, and this will really get it seated down in the screenings really well so that hopefully it won't move when we walk on it. And you can take and wiggle it a little bit more if it's not going. And then it just takes quite a bit of tapping, but this is the most important part, to get them seated in real well so that they don't move it around under our feet when we're walking on the pathway. And since the other side was so unlevel, it's going to take a little bit of wiggling to get her seated down in there just like we want it. And then we'll just take our fingers and come around the edges and pack those screenings up underneath the rock so we don't have any voids that will, you know, make it uneven. That's the last thing we want, is when you're walking on a pathway. I hate it when the rocks are moving under your feet. And plus, with all the pebbles that we're going to put down in between these rocks, that's going to help stabilize it and give us a nice stable surface to walk on. And if you have room, you can even come in with your mallet and kind of tap and compact the screenings up underneath it. That'll just help it be even more stable. One other thing I like to do too is put the thicker rocks in the center, because that's where people are going to be walking. So the thicker obviously will be a little bit more stable as well. All right, now we need us a kind of a triangular rock to go up in this next section. So we'll see how this guy fits. Yeah, I like that. That should work out really good right there. Let's see if we can wiggle it down and get it close to level. I don't want it all the way level because I want to have to be able to tap it with the rubber mallet to get it down level, and that'll help keep it seated. And just try not to hit your fingers, obviously. And we're just going to keep on smacking it until we get it down level with the other stones. And I just run my hand across it like that, and that's pretty well level right there. And then we're just going to keep working our granite screenings right on down the pathway, trying to keep a somewhat level surface. That'll just make it easier for us. But now we're going to go to get a couple more rocks. We need one to kind of fit up in that little area, then a big dude here, and then a kind of a straight-sided one right here. And you just got to kind of dig through your rocks, and it might take a couple of trips, but this guy I think might fit up into here kind of good. Yeah, there we go. I like that, guys. Y'all like that? I think he's going right there. Now we need kind of a big dude. This is a big guy. See how thick he is? And he'll probably fit. Nope. He ain't gonna fit like that. I don't like him like that, but maybe. Hey, there we go. Yeah, he can go right there. We need one with kind of a nice big point on it. This is kind of like a big arrowhead. Let's see if maybe he'll fit up in there. Maybe if we flip him around. I don't like that because it's leaving that big old huge gap, and this is kind of in one of the main walking areas. You just gotta kind of keep flipping them around, and if he don't work, we'll go find another one. This guy's really pointy. Let's see if maybe we can make him work. And probably what we're gonna have to do is come in and put some smaller pieces of slate, because I don't think we're gonna have a piece that's gonna fill this void and go up into that triangular space. Let's see, maybe if we flip him over like so, still gonna have a pretty big void right here, but that's okay. We can fill that up with pebbles or just a larger piece of slate. And then once we put the rocks and moss in, I don't think it'll look bad at all. I'm trying to keep somewhat of a straight line over here that goes along with this raised bed. So, and since this guy's so thick, we're gonna have to pull out a lot of the screenings so that we can get him down in here and attempt to get him level. And we'll just come around the side, the edges, try to get down in there with our mallet. I've got him down nice and level with the others. Now we're just gonna give him a few more taps. A lot of these aren't level rocks, so you just have to take that into account and do the best you can. He's kind of got a big hole or a depression right here, so we just kind of have to deal with that and just make sure we get the high spots down, because we don't want anybody tripping up. Y'all, I hope y'all watching this from a air-conditioned room somewhere, because it is hot as all get out again today. We're supposed to have like 110 heat indexes. But anyway, let me show you guys. I know I did a little time-lapse video, but look at how it's coming along. I am super stoked about it, and I can't wait to get in here and put that moss. But it's going really good. I'm just keeping me a nice thin layer of the granite screenings going, taking my time, placing the rocks, leaving a nice big gap packing in between each stone with the butt of this hammer, which, by the way, normally, you know, if I use something I got off Amazon that I like, I'll put a description, I'll put the link, I can't talk. Normally, I will put the link in the description. I'm not putting this hammer in there because it sucks. The head's fallen off like 37 times. Don't buy this hammer. But I'm gonna go order another one right now that's a little bit larger and better, so I'll put that link in the description, not this one. And we do have some storms moving in, even though it's nice and breezy and pretty right now. Just got a notification on my phone. We do got some storms coming in. So I think what we got to do next is work ahead of ourselves a little bit, y'all. Come in here and get up all this pebble. Now this giant rock is a little bit unlevel. It's leaning in. This is the shower rock. It's directly underneath the shower head, if you can see there without sun blinding us. So what I'm going to do is just take the shovel or a crowbar and go under this end and level it up. But I'm going to come in and clean up all of this rock, this whole area. We've got to trim this vine back because it's gotten seriously out of control, and I hate to cut it because it's a Tangerine Dream trumpet vine, and it's got beautiful flowers on it right now, but we've just got to do what we got to do. Come in here, give it a haircut, get this area cleaned up so that we can move our rock pathway right on into the shower area. It's trying to rain on us, guys, and we're making such good progress. I hope it'll just hold up a little bit longer. We are underneath this little 2-foot eave of the house, so I'm going to keep working until we just can't anymore. And hopefully on the time lapse you guys were able to see I took and leveled the big rock and then cleaned up all of the pebble, or most of the pebble. I left some, you can see, and then brought us some granite screenings down here. What I think I'm going to do, you guys, I think what we need to do is work this way and then get back on this and then work ourselves right on out that way. That way we don't bottleneck ourselves. And something too, you know, I had some pavers or some stones over there, but you don't stand over there. So I went ahead, picked them up, moved them over here around the big shower rock, because that's where you're going to be standing anyway. So I'm going to get back to it. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little update. Hopefully this rain will hold off. I don't know, it's kind of getting dark, but it's a nice day. Yeah, the wind is blowing. We've got a nice breeze. It's overcast. The mosquitoes are still trying to eat me alive, but other than that, we're making good progress. I'm gonna get back to it. And I'm gonna make a recommendation. Y'all get some gloves. I got some nice mechanics gloves somewhere. I ordered off Amazon, but I can't find them. But I smashed my finger with the stupid hammer, and picking up all these rocks will sure enough wear some blisters on you. We're just gonna take these screenings, get them snugged up against the house, get it somewhat leveled up, and then we gotta find us 1 or 2 pieces to go up in here. I'd like to use something with a big flat edge. Hey, we might have our winner. Yeah, I like that. Check it out, guys. Goes up underneath the little ledge of the house, fits up pretty nice up into this corner. I like that right there. She's leaning down just a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and tap her on in. Unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to come up exactly level with the brick. It's just not working out. So there'll be a little step up right there, but we're just gonna have to live with that. And let's see if we can take this big mamma jamma. It's got this nice point. It should go up in there nicely. And you really just gotta kind of take and wiggle these things down. Sometimes you even just have to rake a little of the excess screenings out, because this thing is really a thick one, but it's the perfect spot, because this is where you step off of the brick pavers onto the stone. So we want a nice solid one right there, and I feel it kind of leaning a little bit towards me. So then we'll just add a little bit more, tap it, and I hope the head of our hammer doesn't fall off for the 57th time. And then what I've been doing too, guys, taking this handle and just coming up in here and taking my time and packing this material down, and then come in and add some more. We don't have to worry about drainage over here. I wouldn't do this in the shower area because obviously we want that water to get out, but shouldn't be any water over here. So this will just help secure up the stones so they don't move. Oh yeah, that guy fits in there really nice. Sometimes you just get lucky and they just fit into place just like a puzzle. Let's see if we can find us a really pointy guy. Hey, there we go. Might have to flip him over like so. Oh yeah, that's like butter. Right there, y'all. Wiggling down in there. And then we gotta pay attention right here, because you know the stone is not perfectly level. So we want to we're gonna have to taper this guy down so we don't have a big old toe knocker right there. So let's see if we can do that. We're gonna just have to remove some of the screenings on this end, and then move these rocks back so we can kind of see what level we're trying to make. That feels pretty good right there. I think he'll work. Holy guacamole, you guys. Why did y'all let me start this project outside on a day where the heat index was gonna be 110? It has been some kind of hot, but check it out, you guys. We got our shower area somewhat ready. I mean, we're still cleaning up. I had to go ahead and bring at least one plant over here, but doesn't that look so much better? I am so stinking excited to go start putting moss in all these cracks and pebbles, and I mean, it just turned out so awesome. I am really, really stoked about this, y'all. But first, I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and take the hose pipe here, make sure it's turned off so I don't soak myself, although right now I wouldn't really care because it is god awful hot. So anyway, I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come in and just wash the whole area down, and then what I'm going to do is come in and just kind of flood in between all the stones in an attempt to get all those fine particles to wash down in any voids and see if we can't really stabilize. All the stones have done pretty well. I had to redo a couple that moved a little bit on me, but for the most part I'm pretty satisfied with how they're all holding up. But anyway, this water will go under those rocks and take all of the little fine gravel and the granite screenings and help just reinforce that stabilization, or at least that's my thought process. Plus, it's going to look so much better once it's all washed off. And I was even able to save my little curcuma over here, even though he's kind of tired, and I might have jacked him up a little bit. But that's a cool flower on that. This is a tropical, but it's made it for the past 3 years right here tucked up in this little corner. I guess all the rock and stuff has provided him some insulation during the winter time. But I'm gonna go through here, wash all these rocks down, make it look nice and fresh, and again, wash those particles down. Then, hopefully if there's time, we're gonna go grab us some moss and at least get started on that, because I can't go to sleep tonight until I at least get some moss planted on these walkways. All right, we got her all washed down, you guys. Man, it looks so good. A lot of daggone work today, but man, that just does something for me right there, y'all. Now we gotta decide what we're gonna do as far as, you know, I'm gonna put some rock back in here too, like I've already began to do. I think what I'm gonna do first, because I'm so excited about the moss, and the rocks will be easy, I think we're just kind of just make it look like veins and just go wherever we want to. And I think we've got plenty of moss to do this whole area. But I'm gonna go grab some potting soil right now, and we're gonna put that in the veins where we want the moss, and let's see if we can at least get this portion done for you guys, because I'm not doing a 3-part video to this. I can't do it to you guys. And I just want to at least, let's see if we can get this section done right here, and then later on down, as I finagle and massage this thing to get it looking like I want it, then we'll come back and I'll show you the finished product. Y'all, I was thinking on the way to the greenhouse to get the potting soil, I think what we probably should do is use some of the native soil too, because it's real heavy in clay content, and maybe that's what the moss likes. I mean, not maybe, obviously it does, because it's growing in it. So I'm gonna get a little bit of potting soil in here, and then we're gonna go dig up some of the actual native clay, mix them together, and let's try that and see how it works for the moss. Larry, what you think, buddy? You think that's a good idea? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes. We're just gonna use some of our Happy Frog right here. I'm just gonna throw some of that in my 5-gallon bucket, and then we'll go out and get some moss and dig the clay. So even though this holds moisture pretty good, I'm worried it just might be too rich in fertilizer, or may drain too well, to be honest. So let's mix some clay with it. This is the part I've been waiting on like all day long, and we never did get that rain. So it's kind of dry over here. Well, let's look at underneath. Yeah, see how that's some pretty heavy clay right there, and it's staying consistently moist even though we have had a lot of rain lately. I think we definitely need to mix some of that in with our potting soil. But I'm gonna just kind of, these just come up like cakes. So I'm just gonna take and just scoop it up, put it in a pile over here. Try to keep it in big old chunks like that. That way it won't be as much work. Oh, there's ants, interesting. But that way it won't be as much work once we get around yonder to the pathway. Y'all, we're gonna move spots real quick because I want to dig a big old hole right there to get the clay. So we've got another patch of it right over here. Let's see what's under this. Oh, this is coming up much easier. Yeah, this will be easier to get material too. This clay will be a little bit cleaner. There's a lot of rock in that over there, so we're gonna get some of this. And then this moss is coming up in whole big old sheets. Kinda, then it kinda breaks apart. Now I think what we can do is just take and dig our hand down in here and just mix this up real good. And I feel pretty good about our chances with this mix right here, you guys. And we can load up our moss. That's such a neat looking little plant. That's gonna look so awesome around there once it fills in. Look at these big old cakes of it, man. That's so cool. All right, y'all, here comes the fun part. Now, one more time, y'all got to get some knee pads if you're gonna be doing any of this kind of work. These have saved my life today. But we've got our moss around here. Went ahead and just kind of put it out on the stones there. And now the fun part. So we've got our mix made up right here. And what we got to do now is just kind of use our imagination and follow whatever cracks we want the moss to go in. And I have no idea what I'm going to do just yet or how much moss. So we're just going to have to play with this idea and see how it turns out. But I went ahead and removed those few little pebbles just so I have a blank slate. Now I can imagine in my mind how I want the moss to run, and then wherever we don't put moss, we'll come back and put pebbles. So I'm just going to take our mix right here, and again, there's no rhyme or reason as to whichever direction you want to go or how much moss you want, but there's these rocks that were in that material out there. We got to get those out. This is going to be a little time consuming because what I want to do is come through here and put enough soil that I can pack down, because that soil they were growing in, it was really super compact, so they obviously like that, and it'll help hold moisture in that root zone. So we're just going to come in here and pack it down, and then we're just going to have to take pieces and kind of gently massage them down in there, as well as make sure we stay somewhat level. Now it's not going to look the prettiest, you know, first when we're doing it, but then we're going to have to come back, water it all in, and then it's just going to have to reroot and hopefully survive and then green itself back up. I'm just going to take my fingers and just come in here and compact that soil down. I guess we could use our handle of our hammer again, couldn't we, guys? Then we're simply just going to try and break the moss. I didn't do a very good job there. I was trying to just match the gap, but this will spread too, so I mean, if we don't have to like cut it with scissors or anything to keep it absolutely perfect, but I'm just going to try shoving this moss right down in there. You can be kind of rough with it, we don't want to kill it, but we definitely got to make good contact with the soil. We need a little bit more dirt right here. We'll just take and throw a little bit in, pack it down, and do the same thing over, in like 20 hours we'll be done. Let's see if we can just kind of break this piece off right here. See if we can get him to fit down. I definitely want it below the rock level, or at least even to it. I don't want it above it so it don't trip us up. We don't have to worry about it getting tall or out of control. This will be really neat, and it'll feel good on the feet too. I say let's just go ahead, take a right, come through here. This is going to look so cool if this survives. I really hope it does. It's going to look awesome, and it's going to feel so good to walk on. Well guys, what do you think? I just took the hose pipe and rinsed her all down. And I'm gonna tell y'all though, this is a little more painstaking and time consuming than I had imagined, because you have to pack all the soil down in between the rocks. Then you got to get your moss kind of torn just right and put it down in there. And I'm just kind of experimenting right now with a mix of rocks and moss. I think it'll look more natural. I got a little carried away, I'll be honest, up here with the moss, because I was just happy to be planting something. But it looks really, really cool. Now, can you imagine when that gets bright green and grows all the way through the whole thing? It's going to take me a little bit of time, but I am super happy with what we got done today, guys. Y'all killed it, and about killed myself, because my back is not going to let me do much more. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I'm going to get me a beer, and I'm going to sit my butt down there in that hot tub. But I had a blast hanging out with y'all today. I certainly do appreciate you watching, and I'm not going to do a third part to this video, but now would be a great time to hit that like, subscribe, and then most importantly, the little bell down there to notify you when we put out more videos, because all of the projects that we do, they're all pretty much at my house, and they're ongoing, and I want to share it with you guys, and y'all kind of watch it grow and develop with me. But other than that, leave me a comment about what you think about what we did today. If you have any ideas, throw them at me. Who knows, we might try them. The great thing about a project like this is it's your project. You can do whatever you want. You can put moss, you can put pebbles. It's your yard. Do it like you like it. Other than that, always remember, the more you know, the more you grow. We'll see you on the next video, guys.